So we're going to be talking about care workers today. Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching our video yesterday. And I did say that you could ask us questions and that we would try to answer them. We got a question yesterday, and that question is on the lips of a lot of people who call to get information. It's on the lips of a lot of people who consult with us. It's on the lips of a lot of politicians today. It's been in the news, and I thought I would talk about it. The question that was asked by someone called Enlighten Your Soul Path. I would think that's a channel. But that person said, can you talk about the changes to ILR, which is indefinite leave to remain, especially for care workers? It's rumored that care workers will have to wait for 15 years before they get indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom. By the end of this video, you will know whether that is true, you will know whether that is a policy, you will know whether that is law, or you will know whether that's just a rumor. So let's start with what has been in the news today. The Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, has been calling for the Prime Minister to sack the Immigration Minister, Mike Tapp. This is because Mike Tapp, in an article that was published by The Times on Thursday, stated that he would rather that the Home Office keeps its promise, that the government keeps its promise for care workers to get indefinite leave within 5 years than 10 years. So he has written the article calling for care workers to be exempt from any residency reforms, because the government has residency reforms, and one of those, which has been the topic for a while, is for the government of the United Kingdom to increase the period within which a care worker can get indefinite leave to remain from 5 years to 10 years. So that answers your question, that the rumor that says that the government is trying to increase the time within which a care worker gets indefinite leave to 15 years is definitely wrong. The reason why the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, is calling for the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, to sack the Immigration Minister, Mike Tapp, is because if you're a minister, you should not be talking about the government in a bad way. You should agree with whatever the government says. And if you have a disagreement, the right channel would be to debate that policy or that reform that an opposing party is trying to bring about. It's not for you to go write an article and basically say the government is divided about this. That's not the best way to do it, she's saying. She's saying, you disagree with me, but you should not have gone out to write that article, because it just breaches the ministerial code, which is that ministers must support each other and the government in public and keep any disagreements they have in private, as the policy to increase the threshold to be able to apply for indefinite leave to remain from 5 years to 10 years is still being debated. It's not become law. So that also answers your question as to whether there is law in place that says, as a care worker, you will get indefinite leave within 15 years or 10 years. So now moving on to Mr. Andy Boham, who is the front runner to replace Sir Keir Starmer as Prime Minister. He has criticized the Home Secretary's wish to increase the time within those who have been here as care workers to have to wait to get indefinite leave. He wants the government to keep its promise. So a lot of people are hoping that Labour wins, because he is the front runner to replace Sir Keir Starmer, as I said, as Prime Minister, and he is running for Labour. So Andy Boham is considering making major changes to one of the government's flagship immigration reforms. He is planning to ditch that part of the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood's plans to extend the time to 10 years, not the rumored 15 years, but to 10 years. Like I said, there are plans by Shabana Mahmood to increase the time from 5 years to 10 years. And it is correct that immigration laws can be changed retrospectively. So other laws are not changed retrospectively, meaning that you cannot make a rule today and say that the rules that you made yesterday should then change to affect those who have been promised that they will get indefinite leave within 5 years. And now you're basically saying whatever rules we make today means that if you've been in the UK and you were promised that you will get indefinite leave within 5 years, you will now have to wait for 10 years to be able to get it. Boham has previously publicly criticized the plans, saying that they would leave people, according to him, in a sense of limbo, and that this will make them unable to integrate, because basically people are just thinking, are we coming or are we going? So they will struggle to integrate. So in conclusion, we will have to watch this space to see what happens, but like I said to you, it is only a rumor that you would have to wait for 15 years before you get indefinite leave if you're already on the care workers visa. It is not a rumor that you might be affected retrospectively by any new laws that the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood makes. It is to be hoped that if Andrew Bonham wins the elections, that he would indeed allow for those who have been here on the care worker visa to get indefinite leave within 5 years. But it's important to know that as of today, he has come out to say that he has not made a final decision on the policy, meaning that even if he comes into power, it might be that care workers then have to wait for 10 years to get indefinite leave to remain. A lot of people have rumored that there have been millions of people who have been given care worker visas. I can confirm that there were a total of 616,266 visas that were issued to care workers within 2022 and 2024. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think that the government should keep to its promise? Do you think that it is right for laws to be retrospective? I just want to be very clear. It doesn't really matter what you think. Immigration rules are done in such a way that Article 8 allows for the government to be able to control immigration, meaning that immigration laws can be done in such a way that they can be retrospective. I hope that this has been helpful in some way, and I hope to see you in my next one. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I would be happy to answer any questions, to give you guidance as much as I can. Bye for now. Bye-bye.